What are you hearing about Joe Burrow? Is there any smoke to the story, the rumor that gets bigger that, to be very honest, a lot of his answers to questions fuels that he doesn't want to play for the Bengals, that he's going to pull an Eli Manning? What are you hearing, DJ?
Well, first of all, last week I went and spent time with him and watched him throw and then visited with him for about 20, 25 minutes.
Where was this?
He's with Jordan Palmer at J. Sarah High School. Sam Darnold's down there. Josh Allen's down there. Kyle Allen's down there. So he was down there working out with those guys. So
and Jordan being the one who is...
That's the connection a lot of people have made with Carson and his experience with the Bengals. You know who's working with the receivers? TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Right, and he has basically said something similar to what Carson Palmer has said. So that's why people have begun to read into this.
Dots.
Correct.
And he hasn't gone out and eliminated it with what he said. So, you know, we didn't talk specifically about that, but I would just kind of reading between the lines say he's just kind of in a little bit of a fact-finding mission here to find out what this is going to be.
So, what facts?
Can I just solve it real quick?
Sure.
If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, and whether or not you think this is real, this may happen, this may not happen, free agency starts March 18th. Go out and sign Joe Thuney, or go out and sign a free agent and say, we're committed, we want to win championships, we are going to spend the money to surround you with the support that you need. And that's it's like a good faith gesture there to say, this is, you know, hey, we want to win a championship, and here's some examples of that.
So the Bengals need to make free agency maneuvers to make an overture to somebody that they could take anyway.
They could, but then he has, you know, he mentioned the word leverage, which he does have, which sounds weird to people. The draft, you have no leverage. Well, no, you do. If you're willing to go to
to be a grad assistant for a year because he's out of eligibility. That's what I'm
saying. You'd sit for the year.
So I think
it's a nuclear option. I don't think we're going to get there. I think he'll be the first pick. I think he'll be with the Bengals, and all this stuff will go away. I'm just saying, if you're the Bengals and you want to say we've got some pretty good pieces in place here offensively, in my opinion, it's the best offense a number one pick would jump into since Cam went to Carolina. That Carolina team,
no kidding,
because that Carolina team, when you look at who they had, was Jordan Gross, Ryan Khalil, obviously our Steve Smith. You had D'Angelo Williams. You had Jonathan Stewart. That was a really good group. But I would take the talent that Cincinnati has coming back, provided they're healthy, with Jonah Williams coming back, with A.J. Green coming back. I think there's more talent around him than all these recent number one picks that they've walked into.
So, and what about Zach Taylor? I mean, he's no slouch, right? I mean, we saw last year was troubling, obviously, once again, where the Bengals found a floor that we didn't think that they would hit. So Burrow should be a fit anywhere, but the question is how would that work? I mean, what could be possibly in Burrow's thinking outside of the fact the Bengals are the Bengals, and we've seen what the Bengals can be, and Carson's telling Jordan, and I'm sure Carson's had time with him, basically say, bro, my experience with this guy and Mike Brown and whatever was this. What about the X's and O's and fit?
I think the fit can work. Now, one of the things that with Zach Taylor is they'll do a lot of under center stuff and boot and stretch the Kyle Shanahan offense that he's kind of come up in. With Joe Burrow, I'm parking him in the shotgun. I'm getting 4 and 5 guys out in the route, which is what he excelled at LSU. And Zach's smart enough.
Yeah.
You're gonna draft him. You know what he can do. You're gonna put him in that situation. So I don't have any reservations about that. I think when you look at maybe some of his concern, Joe Burrow's 23 years old, Rich. He's not old enough to have been alive when the Bengals won a playoff game. So while he's a hometown guy, 2 hours away, they haven't had that success. I think they've averaged like less than 7 wins a season since 1993 or whatever it is. They haven't gone out and spent money in free agency. So those are kind of the factors I think weigh into this. I don't think it has anything to do with the coach. I don't think it has anything to do with the players they have there, because I think there's a good nucleus to build around.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.